Oh yeah, that's gonna win. Ooh, that's the spot. Ooh. What's up, guys? Welcome to a boulder scrambling episode. Oh my God, I'm so happy right now. I haven't been out in a while, jumping around. So why are we out here? Sunset. I think sunset's probably gonna be a dud. Last time I said that, it was not, but I'm gonna pessimistically say that again, but I am gonna get a time-lapse set up, so that's why we're out here. Sunset time-lapse, found a new spot. Very excited to get this set up. And I figured while we're out here doing some landscape photography and some epic time-lapses, 'tis the season. My inbox has been flooded with people asking gear recommendations and all of that good stuff, and I figured I'd just go ahead and make a video about it. So disclaimer, there will be affiliate links down below. This is not a sponsored video in any way, shape, or form. Other than we are doing a giveaway. I partnered with LoomCube. They're giving me $100 to give away to you guys. We'll get to that later. But this is just the stuff that I use, a lot of the stuff that I've bought myself that I use and that I depend on as a landscape photographer. So I'm just gonna talk about a few of my favorite of those accessories that I just kind of can't live without for landscape photography. But first, let's go set up because this is getting good and I need to get a time-lapse going. I need a tripod. Someone asked me if I was gonna put that in the video for an accessory, and it's like, come on, really? Like, you know you need a tripod for landscape photography, right? Like, that's just silly. Oh, that rock shakes. Woo! That was a shaky rock. This is the spot. Right here. All right. That light might actually do something and get this time-lapse going. And then once we get that started, I'll go over some stuff. Actually, while I'm gonna see if I can multitask. While I'm getting the time-lapse going, I'll tell you about the first accessory that I can't live without for landscape photography. And that is my L bracket. So it doesn't matter, to me, I don't really think it matters what L bracket you have as long as you have one that works for your camera. So the one that I have right now is from a company called Small Rig, and again, not sponsored. It's just they made one of the best looking ones that I could find for the R5 and the R6. And Small Rig is a very known and trusted brand to me. So that's what I went with. I think it was like 30 bucks or something. But again, it's just the importance of an L bracket is basically, you know, instead of having to undo all your knobs and then turn your camera like that and then mess up your center of balance, you know, then you can have your thing locked into place and it's super easy to just pop this out and then reorient it like that. And then now you're set up for your vertical and your weight is still centered over your tripod. And because it's not fun when your tripod becomes off center and your camera falls over. Let's not talk about that day though. But yeah, so L bracket is number one. All right, let's take a break from that and get this set up as a time lapse because this is actually getting pretty good. Also, I'm gonna need to, all right, I just realized I need this lens because this is my 16. So we're gonna switch that. All right, I got this set up, I think where I want it. Let's talk about number two accessory. Filters. So some kind of filters. And usually the only two filters that I care about are circular polarizer and ND filters. And they're for different things. I'm not gonna go into them. I got plenty of videos about filters in general. Right now, I care about square filters, and I only use square filters for time lapses because they help me out immensely. So let's get this set up, and then I will talk a little bit more about them. All right, so what I have, in this case, again, the brand isn't as important, and I'm using Breakthrough filters. I have a lot of different filters, but right now I'm using Breakthrough because they are my favorite. This is a grad ND, so you can see how it gradually, it's dark up here and then fades to clear down there. So what that's gonna let me do is expose for the sky. It's gonna help rein in that sky a little bit. And normally I would just bracket, but I don't like to bracket when I'm doing time lapses. So that's where this is really gonna help. And this is a 3-stop. So we're just gonna slide that on there. So that is gonna help me expose properly. And I've got it tilted because my composition is tilted here. So you can see my composition, it's cropped a little bit because of the 16:9, but you can see if I move this, how that is going to change the exposure. You see it getting darker now. And I'm going to lighten up that foreground just a little bit more and still try to keep those highlights. They're still a little too strong, but that still should suffice for what I need right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this time lapse set up with my intervalometer going. What time is it? It is 4:43 and sunset is at 5:08. There's a lot of gunshots. You guys hear that? I hope the mic's not picking that up, but there's some people over there that are just going gun happy and shooting right now. Yeah, we'll just carry on. So I'm gonna do an 8-second interval, and I'm going to switch to aperture priority mode, and we're going to go down to, I still want a fairly open aperture because I've got a lot of dust and stuff on the lens. I kind of want to focus past that, so I'm actually going to go to 5.6, and I'm pretty happy with that. Go to ISO 100, lock that down, and then we're going to let the shutter do whatever it wants. We should be good to go. There we go. All right, I found actually an example. Let me show you guys real quick. So here is some round filters. Oh, sorry. Camera lady's trying to grab another camera so she can go get her own photos over there because the stuff is looking good. Did you grab the RP or the R6? RP. Okay, we're filming with the R6.
There was only one left.
All right, so here is my Breakthrough round filters, and these are their X4, which are they're super high quality. They're really fancy, and they're the magnetic, so you can see there, and they just snap in, and it's magnetic, and then this whole thing screws on, and then that rotates. Oh, I love that rotates for the polarizer. So this is a circular polarizer, and Breakthrough has my favorite type of filter, and other people have this too, but I think they were the first to do this, is a dark circular polarizer. So it's basically combining a neutral density filter with a circular polarizer, and I love that, especially when you're shooting, if you're shooting waterfalls and you want, you typically, you kind of need both, especially if you're in bright daylight, and to have built in, the more glass you have stacked on top of things, the worse your IQ gets. But if you have it all in one filter and it's super high quality like this, it's just amazing. So like I said, I use Breakthrough. The links for the stuff that I have will be down below, but this is just a broad, get yourself some filters if you're into landscape photography and that kind of stuff. The two most important that I'm talking about here are the circular polarizer and the ND filters. They come in varying strengths depending what you need, anywhere from 2-stop to 10 or 15 or even 20-stop, which is insane. But the most common are definitely 3, 4, 6, and 10 stop. Those are the most common for the strengths of the ND filters. And then the circular polarizers are usually about 1 stop to 1.5 stops on their own. But Breakthrough makes a clear one that is 0 stops. And then they also make the dark ones, which are, I think the one I have is a 4-stop circular ND. All right, let me see if I can dig through my bag and find the next accessory that we're probably going to be needing here in just a few minutes. Okay, so I left the next accessory in my car, which is like half a mile back that way, scrambling through cliffs and mountains. I had to run back and get it. This pouch right here. So, not necessarily the pouch, but the pouch is an added bonus. I like to stay organized, so I have this whole organizing pouch, but it's full of the accessory, which is my next, which is lume cubes. And any kind of light will do, but again, I use lume cubes. There's other brands, there's Lytra and Aperture and all that. They all make great stuff. The point is to have you a good, solid, continuous LED source of light. I have multiple kinds here. So I've got this guy is probably my favorite. This is their panel mini. So this is absolutely great. Let me crank this up. Yep. So beautiful little light, color temperature changing. It's just blinded myself. So this is not enough for like daylight stuff, but it is enough for like, you know, added light for me, like when it's about to get dark and we're fixing to actually use this. For me filming my YouTube videos, it's extremely handy. But the thing that I use these for, so I've got the panel mini, and then I've got like the cubes, which this thing is incredibly bright. This thing is their Cube 2.0, and it can go up to like 1500 lumens, and that is super bright. This thing is like waterproof and crush proof, and it's like bomb proof, man. This thing is amazing. And I bought this when it came out, and I have a bunch more of their stuff. I've got, you know, the original lume cube, which I bought like 5 years ago. I got a bunch of their smaller little ones. I broke this one pretty good. I cracked the glass there. But these ones are their airs, and these ones are cool because they're magnetic, so they can stick to metal. And if you need them, if I use them like for my car and, you know, all kinds of stuff. But what I really use them for is lighting up like trees and rocks and stuff like that for astro stuff, lighting them as props. I use them for a lot of prop stuff, like putting them in lanterns to make a lantern brighter, or practicals. We call those practicals in photography. So I use those a lot, and I use them a lot for astro stuff and time lapses. The great thing about the lume cubes that I love, especially the 2.0 and the panel mini, is that you can do them to 1% brightness, and that's really good for when you want to do an astro time lapse or a time lapse at night and you want to light something up, so that the lume cube, so that the light is not overpowering your ambient light that you're getting, you know. And if you have like a 30-second exposure, then having a light that's like 1% and you can barely see it, but over that 30 seconds it'll light up whatever it is you're lighting very nicely. And then, not to mention, like I said, doing my YouTube videos, it's absolute must for the places that I film and doing stuff like this. But also getting home, like I use these more than I use headlights. I have headlights in my bag too, and you can use those as your practicals also. But these are what I use. I use the lume cubes, and I did mention before that lume cube is giving us $100 to give away to you guys for their Black Friday sale. So I'm going to talk about that, what you need to do to enter, at the end of the video. But that's pretty awesome that they hooked us up with that. But like I said, this isn't a sponsored video. They're not paying me to say this. Nobody's paying me anything. This is just the stuff that I use. I bought most of this stuff. I think they gave me one of these lights a while back, but I bought the rest of them myself. And here's a bonus one. Power packs, little power battery packs. Any brand. I use the Anchor brand. Something to power your lights, something to power your cameras, you know, whatever. These, all of my mirrorless are USB-C now, which I absolutely love being able to. I've got bigger power pack down there that I can actually charge batteries with and plug the camera in for like long time lapses and stuff like that. So that's it. Oh, in this case, if you're curious about the case, that's an extra bonus. I use these Moment travel cases. I'll link those down below as well. They have different ones. They have one for your batteries and stuff too, and cables, and just miscellaneous. You can organize them however you want. Like I said, I turned this into my lume cube case, which is fantastic. But the cases aren't a necessary accessory. I just like to be organized. It'll be nice. It probably would have been a better long shot for a time lapse, especially because the clouds are lighting up just a little bit. But I really wanted this foreground. I've got this crack in the rocks right here, and I really wanted the foreground for something for the time lapse. And I might be able to do a long exposure blend out of this and get some nice images. So that could be cool. But let's get on to number 4. Number 4 is something that I can't live without at all, and that is my Jetboil. So I absolutely love my Jetboil, and again, Jetboil is just a brand that I have. There are other brands like this, but basically it's just my portable stove that I carry for my tea. If you guys watch my channel, then you know how much I love tea, and you've probably seen me use a Jetboil out here quite a few times, because whenever I go any fair amount of distance, I always make sure that I have tea and food. Food is really important. Like, I joke about it a lot, you know, but I have a family, and Brittany's here with me. You know, my wife and my son, Tristan, is usually out here with us whenever we're all together and we're a family. Like, do not underestimate the importance and the value of having food and water and stuff like that, because especially when you have a kid, you know, Tristan's 12 now and he's not as bad as he used to be, but like, keeping a kid satiated and happy and complacent, like something like hot food, like have some ramen or make some tea, will go a long way if you've got a long hike, and have them, you know, make you some tea or something, and he just gets real excited about it, and then you have that pick me up. And then just for me, because I'm a teaaholic, you know, like I love tea more than most people, and it's my thing, you know. So always having the tea and the food, the Jetboil, that was kind of like a joke accessory, but it's not really a joke because it is always in my bag. I say that as I'm digging in Brittany's bag right now. This is Brittany's bag. And her bonus accessory tip for landscape photography: blankets. So it's like a down blanket, you know, like a rumple type thing. I don't know. We always have something to make sure people are warm and comfortable. Like, comfort goes a long way for landscape photography, especially time lapses when you're out here like for hours on end, especially when it's going to get dark and cold. So that was an extra bonus from Camera Lady, who is chilling with her phone, taking pictures of this nice sunset while I talk to you guys. Okay. That just might light up just a little bit more. Come on, you can do it. You're looking good. Motivation. If you talk nice to it, it'll probably work out in your favor, right? The last tip, apps. So apps are super important. Oh, I'm distracted real quick. Check this out. Look at that. I just shot that. How cool is that? I wish I could have been set up with a proper camera for an actual photograph, but it's noted. I marked it. Anyways, so I'm on here. I'm looking at apps. The first app that I use the most for landscape photography, what the heck? The first app that I use the most for landscape photography is this guy, Sun Surveyor. So this will give me the sunrise and the sunset and the moon position and all of that stuff. And then if I scroll over here, I can check out what time dawn and dusk are, civil, nautical, astronomical, which really helps if you're doing astro stuff, or if you just want blue hour or whatever. Then it's got the photo opportunities. When the Milky Way is up, it'll show me the Milky Way, where the Milky Way center will be if I scroll here and change the time. So if I'm like shooting at like 10 o'clock tonight, I can look over here and see that the Milky Way will be there. So that obviously will not be up anytime soon because it's only in the summertime. So now that it's calibrated, you can see there, that's where the Milky Way will be at 10 p.m. tonight, and that is below the horizon, so that's no good. Obviously, we know that for Milky Way, but the whole point is this app is amazing. It helps with a lot of different things. It's the one I use the most. Photo Pills does all of this too. It's a very great app. The Sun Surveyor app is free. I use that. I used it before Photo Pills came onto Android. It used to just be on the iPhone, and I have Photo Pills. I just never use it, and it's more in depth. So I also use Sky Map. This is real handy for if you do astrophotography and you want to find out, like, if I want to know where a certain constellation is, or if I want to shoot some galaxies or something, if I want to know where Andromeda is. I mean, I know where Andromeda is, but if I want to find things like that, celestial bodies with the sky. So there's a bunch of planets there. Sky Map's very handy. That's free. That's on Google. The next thing that I use the most for landscape photography and for anything when I go outdoors is this guy, Backcountry Nav. So I'm offline right now and I didn't download this area, but you can download this stuff. This is probably from when I was at White Sands a couple weeks ago or whatever. But you can see it records your track and where you're hiking and all of that. And you can zoom in, zoom out. You can download different maps. And this is like safety. Again, this is more than just actual photography. This is like being super safe, and I never take any chances. You know, being in the military and being in part of search and rescue and all of that, it's kind of ingrained in me. And living in the mountains my entire life, I don't go anywhere without having multiple ways to find out where I am. So GPS is definitely one of them. Of course, I have compasses and maps and all that, you know, as backups. But the Backcountry Nav is something that I use a lot, and I really enjoy that app. All right, well, that was a lot of talking. We've wrapped it up. That was the 5 things with a couple of extra bonus tips in there. Oh, a lot of people have been asking me about my bag. That's this guy right here. I use the Shimoda Action X50. So it's also, here's like a third bonus tip, is it's no matter what brand of bag you have, just make sure you have something that fits you and that's something that's super comfortable. Those are the most two important things, because again, most people forget about comfort being super important for landscape photography. I really love my Shimoda. It's the best bag I've ever had. I did a long review on it. You can check that out, but that's the whole nother video. But just important to have a good, comfortable bag. I love that bag because it can hold all of my camera stuff, my backpacking stuff, Tristan's food stuff, Brittany's extra stuff if she doesn't have a bag. Any kind of bag you have. Like Brittany doesn't have a camera bag. She has this Osprey bag that's just a really nice hiking backpacking bag, and she has camera inserts. We have a Moment camera insert and a Temba camera insert, and those work great for just throwing into her stuff, and she can carry all her things. So it's just super important to have a bag that can have all of your gear and keep you comfortable, and it doesn't matter what it is. And then just make sure you pack it full of tons of snacks and tea. And yeah, this sunset is actually getting good. I'm gonna wrap it up here. If you guys have any questions, oh shoot, I should do the, okay, so I'm gonna wrap it up, but before I do, I almost forgot about the giveaway. Like I said, LumeCube is doing a giveaway, $100 to their store, to their website. So if you want to win a LumeCube, this is what you gotta do. So they want it to be on Instagram, so you gotta go follow me and LumeCube on Instagram. I will have the links down below. And then find this image and comment on it. I will pick a winner on Friday the 27th, which is Black Friday, and then I will send your information to LumeCube, and they will get in touch with you and send you via email your $100 gift card to the LumeCube website. And they're having their big Black Friday sale, huge savings on a lot of their stuff. Their Panel Pro just came out, which I'm gonna be talking about that here pretty soon, so don't worry. The Panel Mini is my favorite thing. The LumeCube 2.0 is my second favorite thing. The Airs are super great value, so there's a lot of good stuff there. So if you have any questions about the giveaway or any other thing that I talked about, leave those in the comments below and I will definitely answer them. Hit that like button if this video helped you out. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I got new videos every week. I sound really rushed right now because I want to get my other camera and get this camera and start photographing, because wow, I did not expect that. So yeah, I've got new videos every week. Also, don't forget that I have my preset packs down below. So if you're looking for digital gifts for people or for yourself, you want to up your editing, Lightroom, Camera Raw presets, I've got those down below. You can check that out. I really appreciate the support for you guys have been giving me from that, the feedback that I've been getting for those. I love you guys. So huge thanks to you. I will see you in the next episode. Wow, this is ridiculous. What cameras do we have left, Brittany? We have phones. Phones are good. We have the RP that you are using. Okay, we have this, which is time-lapsing like crazy, and we are definitely winning. I should get a thumbnail, like B-roll or something for thumbnail. Wow. That is looking amazing. Wow. All right. Phones. Never underestimate the power of phones. This is oh, I'm okay. I'll see you guys later.